Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. She's a motherfucking what? What? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. She's a torta with a snack habit. Ba-ba-ba. Yes, a torta with a snack habit. Bye. Twinkies, Hostess, crumb cakes. Oh my. Orale, even carrot cake. One never knows, does one. She's getting her fucking rabbit on. Now trip out. And the Menudo Style in direct fashion, you guys see the thumbnail right there. You already know what it is, man. We're about to get straight into it. And I'm going to tell you the one, well, not even the one thing. Several things can get you whacked on the yarda, right? But one of the main things that can get you removed from said yard, get you whacked from a 3 or a 4 yard, a 2 yard, or 1 yard. Oh my, if they're even doing that over there, right? But I'm sure they're holding their own. One thing in the California Department of Corrections that could get you taken off the map immediately, right? And it is a cowardice act. What's a cowardice act? You know, say something pops off, something cracks off, man, and you don't involve yourself in that. You choose that if for some other reason, man, you're not going to involve yourself in the reindeer games. You're not going to get down, Holmes. You're not going to handle your business. You know, hey, I got a visita this weekend. I can't jump in. When your people are moving as one, right, you better get off your lazy ass and participate. Because if you don't, that's considered a cowardice act. Now, there's several different ways of thinking when it comes to whatever group you're from and what politics you fall under. And we're not going to get into all the politics and bullshit. You know, that's to each their own. I'm just going to say for the majority of the people that are incarcerated on a 3 or 4 yard in California, you understand that a cowardice act puts you in a very precarious situation. It could fuck your whole career off, right? You could end up being the next one removed or whacked on that yard because you didn't get with the program, Holmes. You didn't do exactly what it is you were supposed to do. And everyone knows, man, when you get locked up, if you're functioning, you know, general population active with a certain group, man, you have to defend your household. You have to defend the casa, no matter what, no matter the odds, doesn't matter if there's 15 of them and 2 of you, none of that matters. All that matters at the end of the day is your reputation, your career, and your respect as a man and what you're going to choose to do. Now, I've been put in a lot of bad positions, and all have. There's a lot of people that have. You know, even worse positions than I've been put in. And, you know, it sucks. It sucks to have to look on the other side of the yard and see 30 or 40 individuals that want to take your head off. And you know, you only got 3 homeboys and you don't even know if these 3 are down to go, right? You don't even know if you're down to go. So you're over there looking skeptical like, oh, hell no, right? That motherfucker, did you see that big ass outsider? I want that, some sticking out his culo, and it wasn't motherfucking a tail, right? Definitely wasn't a tail. It was some of a metal. The way the sun reflected off of it had you nervous, huh? Yes, absolutely. I understand. But you have to do what you have to do. And that's being a man and representing, you know, your cause, representing where you're from. Now I'm going to tell you guys a little story about a cowardice act and what happened to this individual because of this cowardice act. And then I'm going to tell you another little story about a cowardice act on the streets and how even on the streets, it can get you removed, right? So trip out on this. So we're in the county jail. And the way Merced County Jail, the old school jail is, we have 3 block, 4 block, 1 block, 2 block, right? And I pretty much told you guys in past videos exactly how that goes down, man. Depending upon, you know, who you are and what you represent. Now, of course, you all know, man, you get to the county jail, you don't tell them. They used to be like, are you a norteño? That's what they got, right? They got hesitation and a whole lot of zero. They got airwaves. They weren't going to get no admission because the first thing they're going to do is use that to validate you. Use that as a validation point. You know, hey, this guy said he was a norteño. So, man, he even said, he's told on himself, basically. So it just is what it is. Wherever they decide to fucking put you, they know when they take pictures of your tattoos and they see Huelga Birds and 14s what you are. Or if you're a Sureño and they see a 13, they know exactly what it is, man. You know, they have to be stupid to not, or the setup game is real. Either way, doesn't matter. You're going to go wherever they put you. You have no choice. You know, I've seen people get drugged. Get your ass over here. Sub-Zero, right? I've seen them get Mortal Kombat and drug into fucking cells. No, those aren't my people. They're black, right? Doesn't matter. Get your ass in there on Paru, right? And you have to do what you have to do. But anyways, so I was functioning as a norteño on the block, right? We call it the block in my county. And the get down is real. You know, I used to always tell young homies, if you have any dirt on your name, if there's any type of infraction that you've done in the past, anyone's skeptical of your shit, anyone's tripping on any of your shit, don't go to the block. They will figure it out on the block, and they will block your shit off. You will be blocked from getting out of there unless it's on a gurney. They weren't playing, at least back in my days. Now they might play a little bit. The plane might be a little bit real, but back then the plane was, there was no games being played. It was fucking serio. People were tripping. So anyways, there was a vaulter there, and he was from out of town. He wasn't from Merced. And one thing about the county jail, usually, for the most part, the town will run the business, depending on barrio, how long a guy's been there, his status, whatever he is, they're pretty much going to hold it down. That's just how it was for a long time. But there would be vaulters that came from San Juan or Salas or San Fran that had a little bit of authority, were somebody maybe within the COC, the chain of command. And of course, they took over. Hey, Sasuke, I'm going to go ahead and need to take over the stage. Go get your ass in the back. I said, Sasuke, but I've been running this shit for 4.5 years. Well, guess what, Holmes? I'm going to run this for 4.5 months while I'm doing a violation, but I'm going to be here. And that's just it, man. You act according, and you keep it respectful at all times. You know what it is. If it's a seasoned vet, man, that could dance underwater and not get wet, you just go with that program. That's it. So anyways, this vato comes, right? And he took the reins. Basically, he was from a different city. He was from Oakland. And he decided that if for no other reason, man, he knew who he needed to know. And of course, his name got checked up and ran. And he was exactly what he proclaimed to be. So of course, he slid right into the position of authority, meaning that, hey, the rest of us were just going to shut the fuck up and go with the flow of the program. Now, I myself at that time was a cell security. Let me tell you what a cell security was. So I secured that cell. I was in that cell. Whatever happened right there in that cell, I was liable for that. So if the cell was fucked off, if people were knocking it out or J-catting out or doing too much, horse playing or whatever, they were not even going to ask these vaulters. They were going to hit me up. Hey, what's going on in there, eh? So you understand the whole song, he likes to play a lot, eh? You know what I mean? Nah, there was none of that. It was like flawless victory. Like I said, Mortal Kombat shit, we had to be smooth with a purpose. We had to move and groove like some Hoovers, right? Not the one from, not that there with Crip Mac. Not Hotissimo, right? Not I too, right? But I'm talking about some real shit. So anyways, we're all kicking it. And my cell's pretty laced up, man. We got some good righteous homeboys, a little mix, some homeboys, a couple homeboys from San Jose, a homeboy from Gilas, homeboy from Oakland. There was a homeboy from Los Baños, and then a few homeboys from Merced. It was an 8-man cell, so we're really maintaining, right? Just good camaradas, good homeboys. Anyways, this vato comes in from Oakland, like I said. And there was supposed to be a few removals that were supposed to happen. A few people that were looked at in a situation where they just couldn't dig their way out of it. And I remember the plotting and planning of what was going on, the scheming behind the scenes. It was an ugly situation. Some people wanted to do him dirt bad. Some people were just like, hey, just get him out of here, man. He just needs to go already. And of course, I was on the back burner bubbling, and I was just listening. Whatever happens, whatever directives, get placed on my plate, if it goes that route, then I'm going to have to do what I have to do. I don't want to do more time than I'm already doing. But that's the way jail is, man. I'm sorry. When you're gang related and you're part of a group, man, your number will be called. And when your number is called, if you don't present yourself in a professional manner and handle your business, well, then you're going to be that next number, and someone else's number is going to be called on you, and your number's done, right? You'll go from a 10 to a 0 fast. And there ain't no saving you. There ain't no jefita to, Mom, the homies want to whack me, right? Well, what'd you do, Mom? Also, it's because I got an extra tray, right? It was Milo. You know I like Milo. Milo's bar. You know how you put ketchup on it? Anyways, we got Milo. I was supposed to split it, and I ate most of it, right? Let me tell you, you can get hit for an infraction as much as fucking boasting, bragging, treating the homeboys with disrespect, horse playing. Oh man, the list can go on, and not sharing your fucking meatloaf. You better share that shit. Sasuke, everybody likes hamburguesa. Handle your business and share your fucking meatloaf, fucking bragger, right? Anyways, I've seen people get hit for less than that. So now, this guy from Oakland comes, and we're working behind the scenes to facilitate a movida, right? And I'm not going to go into the details of the movida, who was on, because that's neither here nor there. Plus, I don't want to go to prison. But I'm going to say this. It was definitely something that needed to be handled swiftly, right? It needed to be handled swiftly. And this guy had to go. This guy couldn't be privy to any information. Of course, he wasn't within the COC meeting. He wasn't within the chain of command or, but he was on ice, right? Meaning he thought he was cool, but he wasn't that cool. He was so cool that we were going to call him a culo or try to stick something up it. And it wasn't pipam. It was metal. So, this guy from Oakland, basically got there and was the one to tell people what to do. Like, hey, this is what you got to do. This is what you do. He got to put the play in motion. And because of his status or because of who he was at the particular time, he couldn't be questioned. You know, every man wants to question someone, Sasuke, especially when you're taking your life into account. When you know you could be looking at 20, 25 years, Sasuke, even more, depending upon how this shit works out, you know, you would think that the man who's telling you, hey, this got to be done, and has presented facts and paperwork on it, should give me every piece of input that I need so that I know to secure myself what's going on. You know, why is this guy getting whacked? Did he tell on someone? Did he you know, pinch someone's butt he wasn't supposed to? Or did he refuse? And, you know, whatever happens. And that's quite understandable. It's the way it goes, the way the cookie crumbles. That's it. Chips Ahoy. But at the same time, menudo, I need to know. Guard! You guys don't, we do. And of course, this guy was keeping people in the dark. And I felt like maybe he had a personal agenda against this guy because he knew a lot about this guy, but wasn't putting a lot out there. You know, word travels, Holmes, especially when you're on a block in a county jail and there's only a few cells, man. People start whispering and talking, and everybody wants to know, hey, depends on la tira. Why are we going to stab this guy? Right? Everybody wants to know. And so this guy felt that if for no other reason, this Vato from Oakland, that he was going to go to that yarda and he was going to lead by example. He was going to put the demo down. He was going to show us exactly how shit gets done. Sasuke, you got to question it? Okay. You bitch, you right there. I got something for you next, right? He was going to go out there and lay the demo down quite efficiently. He was going to put some paint where there ain't. And I was sitting back like, okay, shit, I want to see it to believe it. Because there's a lot of people that talk about it, and it's not easy to wax someone, man. I'm here to tell you. It's not easy to put metal into another man, to human flesh. It takes a lot to do that. You're nervous. Anyone who's ever did a movida, a pegada, whatever, who says they're not nervous, they're lying to you. They lied right there. Hey, you are not the father. I call bullshit in every different type of TV show it could be. It's always bullshit, man. You failed the lie detector test. Anyone who says they're not a little apprehensive or nervous on their first one, maybe after a few, you know what I mean? It's like riding a bike. You never forget how to do it. But in your first one or first couple, you're a little apprehensive, man. There's a few butterflies, a few Mariah Careys going on there. You know what I mean? And it's up to you if you have that vision of love. Anyways, so this Vato said he was going to lead by example. We're going to trip out on it. So I remember when we came out to yard that day, pobrecito, the guy that, you know, this shit was supposed to happen to, didn't know what was going on. He was in the dark like a motherfucker. And he thought he was going to go there, do his burpees, and then throw a basketball around and act like it was a handball against the wall. You know how motherfuckers do that? They hit the basketball like it's a handball. He thought he was just going to chill and play the reindeer games with the rest of the fucking, the homeboys, but that wasn't to be the case, you know. He was targeted for get the fuck on out of here. However it goes. And so we're waiting around. Little did we know that this guy who was going to get the pressure applied to him was about to apply his own pressure. Okay? He felt it. I don't know if someone slid him a huila. That shit used to happen all the time. Vatos will feel some type of way. They'd be like, hey, bro, they're going to get you. Don't say that I told you, eh? You know what I mean? You know what they're doing there? And what they're planning to do bad things to you. And I don't want it because I like you. You know, you're still going to hook me with your sister? You're still going to hook me with your sister, right? Whatever the case may be, people feel a certain way about a certain way. So I don't know if someone slid him a huila, a cana, or they just let him know, hey, Holmes, you know what I mean? Or he felt it. Now, he was a seasoned guy, been around, but I guess he had fucked up in one of the pintas, man. He himself had did a cowardice act where the homeboys got off with the blacks. The Bay Area, I think it was in High Desert, B Yard. At that time, they were going at it with the Kumis. You know, the Northerners and Kumis were going at it quite tough for a lot of years in High Desert. And my brother was also involved there. He was there when that shit cracked. You know, something happened in the library with the Kumi, some disrespect. And anyways, hey, it goes on and goes on and goes on from there. So he was there at that particular time. He wanted to get on down the road, man. So he didn't participate. Wasn't able quite to make it from work to the yard that day. Coincidentally. Wink, wink, right? So anyways, this is what he was being looked at and various other infractions or whatever he had done. You know, I don't know. But he felt it. So this guy from Oakland who was supposed to do this movida, who was going to lead by example, he had a couple other little bombers with him. That was after he fucking did this pegada. They were supposed to fucking get off where they were mad at. And that's just the way everything was set up, right? So we go out to the yard that day. Let me give you the whole makeup. We go out, we get against the wall, man, or against the fence. And, you know, we do our little search behind our ears and all that, waistband. And the placas leave, but they got like a little tower up top. People could look and see, right? Merced County Jail. So we're kind of all looking like, stab them already, right? You know what I mean? I'm waiting, you know? And of course, shit usually happens on yard recall, man. You know, people want to get their son. You don't get out much every 3-4 days, maybe once a week. So, you know, hey, don't fucking deprive the homeboys of a little son. You know, we need our son. We need our legalization. We need our son, eh? So we're going to be a bunch of pale northerners going upstate. You know what I mean? The South Side's going to be laughing. You know what? Those always got tight pants. And they're always pale. You know what I mean? Pale because we're always in the oil. Anyway, so we're getting our sun. We're sun tanning. Eh? We do our máquina. Man, it was a vicious one too. That day, the homeboy, Coco from Gilas, he put it down. He was running the máquina. You know what I mean? Becwa, we're getting it. Ishpo, man. Anyways, and I'm reminiscing. This is old school shit. And I'm no longer part of the life, man. I'm just talking about, you know, things that happened in my life. So, trip out. We all do our little routine, run our laps, you know what I mean? And we're waiting. We're waiting for this movie that happened. So, these two are walking around the yard together, chopping it up. Now, usually that wouldn't happen, not in a county jail. In a county jail, there was so much security and so many things we had to do that we put upon ourselves. We were a functioning ass county jail, so we're looking at everybody's looking at everybody, right? You know what I mean? What are you looking at me about something, right? Everybody's watching everybody because you don't know. Fools could go in there all spun out and fucking next thing you know, pull a fucking a 2.5 out of their ass, a fucking little deuce 5. You just don't know. So anyways, we're right there. And these two dudes are walking around and we're waiting. Okay, stab him already. Handle it. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? We're trying to give the code. Like, Michael Myers did it from the gate. What's up with you, right? Nothing happens. Yard recall. Time to go in. We're lined up. Now we're already ready to take flight on both these bobbles. So it's like, what the fuck's going on here, right? And the dude's like, abort, abort, abort. He said what he needed to say. We're like, now we're not in where we could say something about it. We're not in that position. We just got to go with the flow. But we're like, what? How can you just call off a movida in the middle of it? Oh, we're not going to whack him after all. So that's okay. He told me what I wanted to hear. He's going to also hook me up with his canala. So we're good. That's okay. He has 2 sisters. I didn't even know. I thought he only had 1. You know what I mean? He has one named Rock and the other one named Steady. And we're steady rocking all night long. He's going to hook me up. Whatever the case may be, the shit wasn't about to go down. But the Vato knew what time it was that fools were going to get off on him. So what did he do? As soon as we're walking in, they're in the back, right? We're just mobbing. We're about to go to our cells, and they open each cell, and you go in there if you're from that cell. This fucking dude takes flight on the dude from Oakland. Boom! Boom, 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 boom. Starts putting dick beaters all over him, right? He's trying to make a Betty Crocker cake. This fool, oh shit, Sasuke, never mind, reverse that, get him, right? Now it's too late to get him. We're in the cell like, oh, fuck the homie, right? Or which one is the homie, right? And so we don't know. Quietly as it's kept, he gets beat up and thrown in his cell. The other dude gets snatched up and taken to the oil. We missed our opportunity and our chance, right? Vatos are not supposed to go out like that. Vatos are not supposed to be able to walk out of there. They're supposed to go crippled, eh? He was able to mob up out of there, woofing that high-powered shit. Yeah, you Vatos think you're going to get me, yes? This is whoop-de-wop-de-whoop, right? And we're feeling some type of way. Well, let me tell you what happened to that dude from Oakland. A couple days later, man, he gets approached on the yard for a cowardice act. And let's just say, man, that he wasn't able to do like the other dude did and walk up out of there. It was a bad situation for him, right? Because he showed a cowardice act. A cowardice act was, he talked all that high-powered shit about what he was going to do, and at the end, man, he flaked. He was scared to do it. He didn't do it for no other reason than, Sasuke, right now the time is not right. Because, you know, the wind was blowing, I felt rain, and it's just the weather had my equilibrium. Fucked, I didn't do my V8. Sasuke, whatever excuse he had, he wasn't leaning like a cholo. He was straight up a coward, right? And when you do cowardice acts, man, things happen to you. I've seen a lot of people get approached in situations, you know, where they're scared. So let me tell you another movie now. I'm on the streets, right? And there's a family from my barrio, and I'm going to be speaking on one of them pretty soon, man, here on the, in fact, today on the small channel. It's his family. And if you watch you got to watch the collective clips to correlate this fucking conversation in this story, right? So I'm telling you, it's real facts. He had an older brother. And his older brother, man, he had one older brother that was with the activities. That motherfucker was like Mozzie, you know what I mean? Blah, 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 right? And then he had another brother that was just there, but acted like he was with the activities. Always proclaimed all this work he put in. I never seen it, right? No one ever seen it. But he was fenced to do what he was fenced to do. So we were about to do our thing out there. The wiggle was real. Let's just put it like that. I can't go into too many details, but we're parked in front of his pad, and that fool came running out screaming, "Hey, you guys don't be having those cuetes in front of my jefito's house. Hey, you guys don't be doing that. What are you guys doing? The raza, it's a raza." Yeah, I know it's a southerner, puto. You know what I mean? We're gonna go hunting, right? Con antlers and everything. You know, Marty Moose. We're gonna go get ours on. Meanwhile, this dude who was so hardcore was a cowardice acts. Well, let me tell you, man, up until that point in my neighborhood, I don't know about your water or your neighborhood, but we didn't really do the DP stuff. It wasn't, you fucked up, you got killed. You know what I mean? And there wasn't many of that happening. Wasn't too many homeboys fucking up. If they fucked up, they wiggled. They moved to Atwater. They were out of there. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Don Jaime? I haven't seen him in a minute. I want to listen Winton and shit. For reals? What, he made a Heina? Nah, I want the fucked up in the P. He went to Pleasant Valley and stood there. For reals? Yeah, when it was all, fuck yeah, that was gone. He didn't come back to it. He knows already. He knows. That's how it wasn't no DP. You know, I hear a lot about this shit on YouTube. People getting DP, people taking a check, discipline. That happens more so with the blacks or down south in Southern California. I don't know how the Southsiders run their barrios, you know. But up north, especially in my neighborhood, there was no such thing as a DP. It's one and done. You fuck up, you're gone. Flawless victory. Done. Anyways, this was the first time that this fight, it's just because of who his family was. But I appreciate that it was his own brothers that put him on the front line. He did get DP'd. He did get fucking smashed for acting like that, for not participating when he should have been participating. You know, and I always remember that and saying to myself, you know, that was a righteous move. That Vato had that coming. He showed a cowardice act. You know, one thing you can't be in prison or in life is a coward. You can't be a punk, man. You could be a wise guy. You know, like, okay, now in the situation I'm in as a grown man, I no longer function, man. I got a lot of people mad at me. A lot of people are mad at me because I'm here on YouTube speaking facts, telling my stories. And some people just don't like that. That's understandable. I understand. They're like, shut the fuck up. Cool. But I like to tell my stories. But I will tell you this. To be smart and to wiggle the way I do, to not let anyone know my movements, to not go live in certain places, to do that, that's called being smart and intelligent. That ain't called being a coward. You know, being a coward is when you put yourself in a situation where you're supposed to handle your business or you're supposed to do something and you cower down. You don't want to do it. You know, I know a lot of people hear my story about how, you know what I mean, I was no longer embraced, you know, no longer with the Norteño activities. And people hear the story about, well, Gunner, you were told to do a pegada and you didn't. Man, you know how many pegadas I've done in my life? ¿Sabes qué? Do you got 10 fingers and 10 toes? Well, yeah. Tell your homeboy to jump in and put his foot in too. Because you put your left foot in, you put your right foot out. You guys could do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around, all them fingers and toes. Well, that's what I was all about. Okay? I was always participating since a young kid in shit. It was natural to me. It was normal. I didn't like it. I didn't want to do it. Shit, but I did, you know? So I did a lot of movies. That doesn't mean that one time I didn't fuck up. Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? There's times when you fuck up. But in that case, I never did, right? I never showed, I never was a coward. What I was just a man that got put in a fucking sticky situation. And that's what it is, man. And I didn't like what I seen, and I acted upon it. Now, other people, man, that do cowardice acts on yards, it doesn't matter what section you're from. If you're Crip, you're a Blood, you're Kumi, you're Wood. You know what I mean? Southside or whatever, man. Bulldog. You can't do a cowardice act. That is the one thing in prison, man, that for sure will get you knocked down. That is the one thing for sure that'll get you taken off the map. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the stories today. They're all factual. Look them up. That's it. I don't give a fuck. Google them, right? It's all facts. It happened. And that's part of the game and part of the life that I was living and part of the life that a lot of people are living right now. You have to understand when you go in there, man, you have to show face. Even if you're scared, man. Even as a little homie, man, if you're like, fuck, bro, I don't want to get caught up and do this. Because I've been in this, fuck, man, I ain't trying to catch more time. I'm trying to go bum my old lady, right? Fuck, man, Leroy, I'm done with, he's already been, he knocked her toenails on. That's good. The other day I was going to send her a little feria to get her toenails painted, and Leroy done knocked those off already. You know what I mean? Because his dick was in her. Dirt. It's just all bad. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the stories, man. It's fun and games. It's all fun. Until the rabbit got the gun, you already know what it is. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming to you. And remember, at the end of the day, hey, man, it's just entertainment. You're just here to have fun, man. Keep a positive attitude. Like, subscribe, show some love. Put your notifications on all. Let's get this motherfucker boom bangling. You already know what it be like. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears this king's crown. And I'm going to continue to strive and struggle and strive for what I truly believe in. And that's Raza way. All the people. Guttering for the people. ¿Sabes qué? I'm brown, ain't I? I'm brown. Bang, bang.